have been joined by Partha DeSarkar, the Global CEO at Hinduja Global. Good morning, Mr. DeSarkar. To start off with, congratulations on the set of earnings that we have seen. Firstly, if you could just tell us, good morning. Firstly, if you could just tell us what has worked in this quarter, and majorly, which is the region that is getting more traction?
So, we've talked about it in the past. We do have seasonality in our business. It's driven primarily by healthcare and consumer electronics. So the holiday season results in high sales for consumer electronics clients. So that drives volumes principally in US and Philippines. And then we have what is known as open enrollment, and that's very peculiar to the US health insurance sector. All health insurance policies renew as of the 1st of Jan, and that again drives a lot of volumes in Q3 and Q4. And that volume actually gets split across US, India, Philippines and Jamaica. So that's driven the capacity utilization number up. If you look at our capacity utilization number, that's grown up by about 300 basis points from 85% to about 88%, and that's driven the increase in top line, the increase in bottom line and all of that.
Right. If you talk about where geographies go, 68.4% of the revenues come from the US market. With the kind of headwinds and the commentary that we have been hearing in terms of where H1B wages and norms are concerned, what is the outlook going ahead? Do you expect some bit of a pressure to come in terms of where employee expenses is concerned? Secondly, in terms of where business comes from there, what's the kind of impact can one see if you talk about where margins go?
Okay, I have to explain this thing clearly to you. We are not impacted by H1B at all. We have zero H1Bs on our books because our revenue model is different. We hire locals in local geographies. So we have about 6,000 people between US and Canada and North America who work for us and who are all locals. So this H1B move doesn't impact us at all. And even though the revenues are large part concentrated from North America, protectionist measures actually we do not believe that's going to have any impact going forward for us. And that's because our revenue model, as I tried to explain to you earlier, 50% of our revenues today come from onshore. And we, in this quarter, have added about 1,200 jobs, if I'm not mistaken, between US and Canada. We create jobs in those markets. And therefore, I think we are on a good wicket out there. And I think it's a little different from our peer group. We have quite a few in our peer group who are pure offshore players and don't have an onshore presence. So for us, I can only say that this has zero impact on us.
In terms of the first 9 months of FY17 are concerned, they have been pretty strong for Hinduja Global. Do you expect to maintain that kind of momentum if you talk about where FY18 is concerned?
So if you could repeat that question, I don't think I got that question very well.
My question to you was in terms of where the first 9 months of FY17 are concerned, they have been pretty strong for the company. Do you expect to maintain that kind of a momentum in terms of where FY18 first 9 months is concerned?
See, our CAGR of rupee growth in the last 5 years, if you look at it, has been in excess of 20%. So we have a track record, a good track record of growth. And as of now, where I see ourselves, I do believe that we will be able to sustain the momentum that we currently have. The trick always is to be able to balance growth with profitability. Growth historically has never been a problem with us. We've struggled at times with profitability because of our large onshore presence, and that generally sometimes, if you don't handle it well, can be margin dilutive. But in the current scenario, as I explained to you, that might end up being a boon to us. So the trick is to be able to balance growth with profitability. We've managed to pull it up for these 9 months. Hope we should be able to replicate that success in 18, but it's forward looking, and that's why I can't say anything more than a hope. Right? I think that's the best way to put it.
Right. All right, Mr. DeSarkar, thank you for getting us the details as well. So spectacular set of numbers that have been reported in terms of Q3 is concerned. In fact, even the 9-month performance has been pretty good, on the back of which, if you see the stock as well, seeing gains of almost